Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with your same module, that is web application development, and the same session, that is session number 5, that is web perception application. In the last class, the class will be disturbed, or the class was disturbed due to the low bandwidth, due to the network failure from the backend side, from the company side. So let's start the session again, or let's start the previous class session what you have covered in the last class, then move to a today topic, that is the design of the database. So in the last class we have started with the session number 9, that is the web perception application. How to use the web perception application. So that is defining the web perception application. So there is an introduction, that is how to present a visual messages that is displayed with the use of the web application development, that may be displayed in the text form, that may be displayed in the table, that may be displayed in the graphical chart, read from the audio file, and so on. Then we move on for the outline of the design. This is the outline of the design. There is a browser who requests for the URL request. There are forms, web server, experiment system. This is the overview of the experiment system. The next is the design of the JDBC, that is today's topic, that is how to design the JDBC. So the starting point for the design of the experiment is the database. So whenever we start with the database, whenever we start with the experiment, so the first step that is available is the database. What is the database? That is a collection of the files. Then to design the database, or what are the various steps to design the database. So starting point for the design of the experiment is a database. So that is the starting point, that is how to design with the experiment, or how to design with the experiment that is used with this one, that is a database. So that is used with database, and several database system can be used in defining the database system. So there are several system or several database management system that is used, can be used, including the Access and the MySQL, but we are using the MySQL, that is very relevant for using the MySQL and the Microsoft Access. The requirement to the database is that there exists a JDBC driver for the server platform use. So whatever the platform that we are using, so there is a requirement for the JDBC server that is used for the server platform use. In this session, MS Access is used as a simple solution. So in this session, we are going to use, or we are going to work on the MS Excel, because that is a very simple solution as compared to the MS Excel, because that is a very lengthy and we can say the vast programming procedure language, but MS Access is not a vast access language. The database is a collection of tables with columns corresponding to the variables, and each table row is a recording of an event, and each column contains the event value for the variable representing in the particular column and for the particular row. That is, what is the database? That is a collection of the tables and the columns that is corresponding to the variable. So whatever the variable, whatever the tables and the columns, that is defined with the database of the system, and each table row is a recording of an event, and each column contains the event value for the variable. So whatever the variable, whatever the value that is represented, that is represented with the variable that is representing in the particular column for the particular row. And 4 tables are used for this experiment. So there are 4 tables that is used for the experiment. Now one is the calls, then participant, and the facts. There are 2 argument that is used in this one. Then charts, the chart, fact, type, URL. Then form 1, that is a participant, then day, then hour, minute, host, gender, age, subject. So these are the various, we can say, the argument that is used in this one. Then form 2, that is also the participant, then chart, then weight, then fact. So for this purpose, there are four tables that is used in this one, that is the calls, charts, form 1, form 2. So these are the 4 tables, and these are the various, we can say, the columns that is defined in these table. That is the calls have a 2 columns, that is participant and the fact, and the charts have a 4 columns, that is the chart, fact, type, URL. Then form 1 that have a participant, day, hour, minute, host, gender, age, subject, resident, keyword. Then form number 2, that is a participant, chart, weight, fact, type, unit, topic, measure, TID, category, stand form or start form 2, then end form 2. So these are the various form 2 category that is used with the form 2. Now the names within the parentheses are the column variable, as I said to you, as I told to you, of the respective tables. Table 1, 3 and 4 have all the variable that is participant, that is variable participant, which means they can be combined to give a wide empirical description of the participant, that is they are giving the description of the participant, that is using the empirical discipline, that is of the participant, and his or her demographic attribute as well as his or her interaction with the experimental system. So whatever the variable, whatever the participant that is using, so that they are using the table 1, 3 and 4 that have a variable participant. That means they can be combined to give a wide empirical description of the participant of his demographic attributes. Now, table 1 is used to keep the tracks of the people or facts that is presented for each participant to avoid that he or she is exposed to some fact more than one. So that is, they are using the more than one fact that is used to take the participant to avoid that she or he is exposed to the same fact more than the once, and each participant is identified by an internal identifier. So that each participant is identified with the internal identifier in the table number 1 participant, which is kept during the session in order to make the presentation and responses connectable during the analysis. So whatever the table that is connected with the analysis, that is connected during the analysis. And the second table is a listing of all the fact that is presentations in the gallery. So whatever the presentation, whatever the salary that is given, that is the second table, that is a listing of all the facts that is presentations in the gallery. Since there are 25 facts all represented by 3 different presentations, the table has 75 rows, each with a distinct chart number, reference to the fact represented, and the type of presentation, and a pointer to the chart images in the gallery. So whatever the presentation, whatever the type of the presentation, whatever the pointer that is used in the chart, that is used in the gallery. And this table is the basis for the random drawing representation. So this table that is used is the random drawing representations, and a link to the gallery with the image file to be presented. So whatever the image file that is presented over here, that is linked to the gallery with the image files. Note that the gallery is not a part of the database but a collection of the image file in a separate directory. So what is the gallery? That is not a part of the database but a collection of the image files in a separate directory. Now, form number 1, that is used for the recording when the participant joined the experiment. So when the participant joined the experiment, so there will be entry that is used for the recording purpose. Then what is the syntax that is used for the form 1, that is a date, hours and a minute. So first of all there is a date, then there is a hour, then there is a minute, as well as his or her demographic data value. So what is his or her demographic data value? That is used for the attribute gender, age, group, professional background, country of the resident, and keywords. These are the various, we can say, the tools. So these are the various keywords that is used in this word, that is they or when the experiment or when the participant joined the experiment, what is his or her demographic data values for the attribute, like their gender, that is like the male or female, then age group, then professional background, then country of the resident, and keyword. And the last table is the main table in which the feedback from the participant for each presentation is saved. So whatever the presentation that is available, that is saved for the presentation, that is saved with the last table, that is the feedback table. The table variable reflects the participant, the chart reported on, the time it was displayed for the participant, the fact presented in the chart. So whatever the fact that is presented in the chart, that is available on the participant, that is representing the or reflecting the participant details. Now the presentation refers to the single or the multiple times. Category, start time and end time are variable that are used to measure the times needed for the completing the form. So whatever the form that is completed for the or that is used for completing the form, that is a analysis that is available for the data representation of the task. Then next category is the last table that is used for the next category, that is represent table of the data fact, that is how to represent the data that is used with the representation. A table that is containing the correct value for each fact also exists for the use during the subsequent analysis of the experiment. So whenever we are using the experiment, that is used for the going to represent the task, that is very easy to use during the subsequent analysis of the experiment. Now, how to design the dynamic web process? So this is we can say the layout that is given for this one. 4 tables are used. There will be parenthesis that contains the variable names, then table 1, then another table that is used, then form 1, form 2, then last table. So this means we can say the structure of the table or structure of the database that is designed. This is the designing of the database, that is the structure of the database. Now next is, what is the designing of the dynamic web pages? That is, what are the various web processes, that is the dynamic web processes. So the design of the web process to be implemented has 6 main templates, of which some have attached template for background processing. So some of the have a, or some have a attached template that is used for the background processing. Now, number one is a opening page explaining the application and a login form. There will be an opening page that explains the application, and there will be a login form that is used for the dynamic web processes. That means the page that is opened for to explain the concept, to explain the applications, and a login form. There will be a login form for logging into the dynamic web processes. Then a demographic form. So there will be a demographic form that is how to represent in the, or what is the main category, that is a demographic location from where the customer or from where the designing or the page will be arrived. Then first chart display, that what is the main chart that is displayed, that is the first chart display. Then perception report form, that is a perception report form. Then a next table display or next chart display. So first is the first chart display, then there is a report form, then there is a next chart display, that is the next chart. So there are two charts that is available in this one for displaying in the values. Then at last there is a next one, that is a next template that is available, that is thanks for the participating. So there will be thankful thanks, or there will be thanks for the participating in the scenario. So that is used for the participating in the scenario, that is a thanks for the participating. In addition to these templates, so in addition to these templates that is available, an application.cfm template setting the session management that must be created for the specification of the persistent session variable. So whatever the session variable that is developed, that is used with the specification of the persistent session variable, that is covered under the application.cfm. The variable session.data source is also set in this template. So there are two values that is setting this one, that is the application.cfm and the session.data source. Now next is the opening the page, that is how to open the page, or what are the various steps, or what is the first phase that is open, that is opening the page. The first template that is the index.cfm. So that is the first template that is available, that is the index.cfm, opens the experiment for the participant. So that is the first template that is used, that is index.cfm. So what is the name of the first template, or what is the name of the first, that is a that is displayed over here. So that is opening the page explaining the application and the login form. So this is the first template that is used, that is the index.cfm, that opens the experiment for the participant. That means it is used for the opening the experiment with the participant. That is the first template, that is the index.cfm, and that is a part of opening or explaining the concept or explaining the application, that is how to explain the application, to explain the application, and what is the various login forms explaining. That is the index.cfm, that is the first page that opens and explains the application and asks the participant for his or her keyword. That is, it explains the application, what is the main application, and asks the participant for his or her keywords, that is what is the main keyword by which they gather the information about the opening page. And as indicated above, the keyword is not a password but simply a means for recording to which recruitment group the that is that is how to represent with the recruited form, that is how to represent with the various group that is used with the participant. The opening template contains a small form which is used to record the participant details or participant key. So there is a participant key that is used in this one, that is in the application example. You can use the key that is a CF, that is a key CF, that is a call fusion, and when the form is submitted, the control is transferred to the form1.cfm. That is a, again the CFM language will be used, that is a call fusion markup language will be used. Now first is index.cfm, that is the first line. That is the first line that is available with this one, that is the index.cfm. Then there will be a p tag that is used for the paragraph, that is displayed as it is. That is, there is a long or relative long introduction of the application which has little relevance for the implementation, and you can read the full text in the application example that is available in the p tag, that is a paragraph tag. Then there is a form action that is equals to form1.cfm. So that is the action, form has an action, that is a form1.cfm, that is a call fusion language, and method equals to post. That is action is form1.cfm, and the method that is used is the post. Now again the p tag, that is a paragraph tag. If you wish to participate, please type your keyword. So that if you wish to participate in this one, then type your keyword. Now what is the main value that is available in this one? That is the input type, that is a text, then name equals to keyword, then value equals to blank, then p will be closed. That is used with this one. That means it is available in the paragraph. That is first there will be a text box in available, and before the text box it is available. If you wish to participate, then type your keyword. That means you type your keyword in the text box, and text box will be created by this tag. Then again the p and click on the button. That is again the paragraph that is available. That is after this one you click on the button. Then the button will be created by like this one. That is the input type equals to submit, name equals to response, value equal to participate, then p tag. Now again the p, that is else you go to your referred or preferred URL. Else you can go to the preferred URL that is used. That is the p will be closed. After reading about the experiment as indicated in the line number 2, the visitor is offered the option to cancel his or her participation as indicated in figure number 1. So it is available in the figure number 1, that is how to use with the participant, how to use with this one. So this is available in this form. That is, the application is carried out according to the following lines. The application will go as shown, and I agree to the participate. If you wish to participate, then type the keyword over here. This is the keyword that is used, and click the button on participate, or else you go to the preferred URL. This is the figure number 2 that is available with this. The next part is demographic form. That is how to present the demographic form, or what is the main form that is presented in the demographic form. This is the demographic form that is created with the code fusion language. That is your gender, age group, and so on. That is the demographic form. Is a demographic form, that is how to create the demographic form, that is from which background the persons will coming, that is a demographic background. So before starting to record the demographic data, it is important to give the participant, that is, it is important to give the participant an identification permitting to recognize him or her each time he or she return a feedback. That is, whatever the time or what is the main timing that is used to receive the feedback, that is used to receive the or recognize each or her, his or her each time that is he or she returns a feedback. One of option that is used is a cookie, as we did in the market research application. So one of the content, one of the, we can say, the option that is using the cookies, that is used to use the cookies that we did in the market research application. Since some people do not permit their browsers to accept the cookies, we use another technique in this experiment. Some users use the some browsers use the cookies, so use the do not permit their browser to accept the cookies. We use another technique in this experiment. As soon as a visitor has decided to become a participant, control goes to template form number or form1.cfm. So as long as the visitor has decided to become a participant, that is used to go for the template, that is the form1.cfm. And according to the line 2, the participant is assigned an internal or an internal identifier. So there is an internal identifier that is identified with line number 2, that is a session dot participant. So that is the hash session dot participant hash, that is computed from the time the form was processed by the servers. That is computed from the time when it was processed by the servers. A simpler time identifier can be used, but in this session we compute the identifier from scratch to demonstrate the principle in detail. That is, it is identified with the identifier that is used from the scratch to demonstrate the principle in detail, that is used with the simple time identifier. There is a microscopic result or risk that two or more participants can be assigned identifiers within the same RICO or second. That is, there is a microscopic risk that is used to represent, that is how, or that is used to represent that two or more participants can be assigned the identifiers within the same second. A few other variables can also be set to last to the session in lines 3 to 6, including the date, time, IP, number of the client. So that is available with the IP number of the client, that is used with the keyword that is used to involve in the required saved file that is used in the database. So that is used to represent the IP number of the client, that is used to represent the keyword that is required saved in the database. And then follows a demographic form in the lines 11 to 64. This is the line 11 to 64 that is represented the form that is carried out till 64. This form will be carried out till 64. This is the line that is used to represent the form, that is how to represent in the variable form, that is line 60 to 64. 11 to 64, that is displayed for collecting the background data about the participant. And even though advantage is taken out of the HTML form possibilities, including the menus to check the relevant options. So there is a options, or there is a possibility to check the relevant options. The template is long, but does not include any CFMX feature. So that does not include the CFMX feature that is used as a template. That does not include, that is too long, but does not include any new CFMX feature that is used as a template. That is the form 1.cfm. This is the coding that is defined for this one. This coding I'm going to continue within the next class because there is no student available. So let's stop over here only. In the next class we are going to study about the demographic